Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Alan. So you want to be a Jedi Knight. It's the obvious choice of profession in a galaxy where pretty much anything is possible. I mean, who doesn't want to have the power to control weak-minded people like sock puppets? And use them to rob a bank and then have them jump off a bridge right after they dump off the loot to you. So you could use it for a humanitarian luxury space shot, which you'll cruise around in doing humanitarian missions and other human things for your humanitarian company thing. Hashtag humanity first. Now, obviously, if being a Jedi were that easy, everyone would be flying around in their own non-profit humanitarian delivering luxury space vessel. But the truth is, being a Jedi is far from easy. To begin with, you literally have to be born into it. Not everyone is special. That's right, your mom lied to you about a great many things, including what she told you about Uncle Ted. He's not on an extragalactic reconnaissance mission looking for new galaxies. He was bludgeoned to death during the Battle of Endor by cannibalistic Ewoks, eaten, then defecated out of, and is probably now a part of some gigantic tree. So no, not everyone can be a Jedi. And yes, I'm talking to you, Steve, sitting there in your room with no pants on. Just because you're alone in your room doesn't mean I can't see you through the screen, you filthy animal. Okay, anyway. According to legends, the average human has around a count of 2,500 midichlorians in each cell. Anakin Skywalker, who was considered one of the most powerful Jedi during his era, had a count of 20,000. Jedi recruiters usually didn't take any babies that had a midichlorian count of under 7,000. Now, one way to get a high midichlorian count is to have parents with high midichlorian counts. What, you think Han Solo was just lucky all those times? But it's also possible for a person without Force-sensitive parents to have a high midichlorian count. But still, it's a very rare genetic trait to have. Now, someone asked in a recent comment about whether you could take the midichlorians from another person's blood and then put it into your own body. The short answer is no. At best, you'll get space AIDS. At worst, you will turn into a zombie. Darth Plagueis in Legends tried to do something similar when he forced midichlorians to re-inhabit a dead body, which basically made a tear in the cosmic force, imbalance the universe, and caused the Force to immaculately conceive a demon child into a slave woman on Tatooine. So, yeah, better to stay away from that. Now, should you be lucky enough to have the right midichlorian levels, legends say your parents have three choices. One is to give you up to the Jedi recruiter to have you train at the Jedi Temple. Two was to keep you, but promise to never let you develop your Force powers. Or three, they would simply just kill you. Yeah, so the Jedi Order preaches rejecting fear unless it's the irrational fear of a small child and their future potential. Now, if your family is rich enough, it is possible that they could hide you away from the Jedi recruiters, and then once you got old enough, they could hire a private tutor to teach you in the ways of the Force. Now, if the Jedi recruiters have taken you, you're most likely just an infant. Because if you're too young to remember your family, you won't have an attachment to them. And the Jedi Order replaces your family with themselves, which is a common tactic used by death cults and Idris Elba. Once you reach the age of 4, you become what's known as a youngling, or Jedi Initiate. These younglings were divided into 10 clans of around 20 students each. The younglings would attend academic, martial, and Force-related classes to prepare themselves for becoming a Jedi. The younglings who weren't assigned to a clan were dropped out of training and given to the Council of Reassignment. These leftover younglings wouldn't have the opportunity to become a Jedi Knight. Instead, they would join a less prestigious department like the Exploration Corps or the Medical Corps or, God forbid, the Agricultural Corps. That's where you basically would spend the rest of your life communicating with Force-sensitive plants. Now, the younglings that were capable enough made it to a ritual called the Gathering. They were brought to a planet called Elune, which had an ancient Jedi temple there. The younglings must then enter the cave inside the temple, and in the allotted time given to them, find the kyber crystal for them to use in their lightsaber. While in the cave, a supernatural force will manipulate the younglings by exploiting their greatest insecurities and fears. I'm not sure how the Jedi managed this. I can only assume Yoda slipped some spice into the younglings' hot cocoa before he sent them off into the magical cave thing. Just because it's in your belief system doesn't mean that it's okay to spike a young child's drink with hallucinogenic chemicals. Shame on you, Yoda. The younglings that made it out of the cave with the kyber crystal would then board the Jedi ship, the Crucible, where a droid named Master Hu Yang teaches all the younglings how to build lightsabers with their mind. It's basically a Build-A-Bear workshop, but instead of making custom toys, the children are making extremely lethal custom weapons. See, the Wookiee even gets one that's made out of wood. But just because you had a lightsaber didn't mean you were on a short path to becoming a Jedi Knight. There is still the off chance that a Jedi who really hates sand could randomly corner you in a room and ruthlessly slaughter you. Should a youngling survive all of that, now they're ready to be mentored by a Jedi Knight, a Jedi Master, or Liam Neeson. This is kind of the final test of your entire childhood, because after this, you'll be exposed to extremely dangerous combat situations. Does it matter that you're only 9 years old and have the emotional maturity of a child? No, of course not. It's the Jedi Order. If anything, it's easier to make someone kill another living being if they aren't mature enough to understand the concept of death. It's okay, Gunji, that pirate's not dead. He's just sleeping because he's so tired after you cut his head off. Not much is known about the Jedi trial, but apparently the Padawan is tested in 9 steps, which are teamwork, isolation, fear, anger, betrayal, focus, instinct, forgiveness, and protection. Should the Padawan pass, they get their braid cut off, and only then will they become a Jedi Knight. Now, it should be noted that there have been special circumstances where Padawans have been promoted without taking the trial. That's exactly what happened to Ahsoka Tano after she was accused and then later acquitted of bombing the Jedi Temple. Then there was Kanan Jarrus, who survived Order 66 and was knighted in a Force vision, or at least that's what he tells everyone else. So there you have it, guys. As you can see, being a Jedi Knight is not easy. You're almost better off being a mercenary. It's a lot less hard to become one, and you can still run around and cause plenty of mayhem. Well, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do you still want to be a Jedi Knight? And if you do, don't forget to subscribe and like us on Facebook, because we'll probably give you some information to help you achieve that goal. Probably. I don't know. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us today. If you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.